It's 3:17 in the morning. Captain Rahman has crossed the Strait of Malacca more than 100 times. Tonight feels like any other voyage. The sea is calm, the engines are running smoothly. Beneath his ship are more than 2 million barrels of oil, enough to power entire cities. Then, everything changes. An urgent message comes through the radio. Emergency alert. All vessels must stop immediately. Possible security threat ahead. Within minutes, hundreds of ships begin slowing down. Some stop completely, others turn around. No one knows how long the strait will remain closed. But thousands of miles away, fuel prices begin to rise. Factories prepare to slow production. Global markets react, and millions of people, without even realizing it, are about to feel the consequences. All because of one narrow stretch of water, the Strait of Malacca, one of the most important places on Earth. Yet, most people have never even heard of it. Today, you'll discover why this tiny passage has become one of the most strategic locations on the planet. At first glance, the Strait of Malacca doesn't look extraordinary. It's just a narrow waterway between Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. At its narrowest point, it's only about 2.8 kilometers, or 1.7 miles wide. But don't let its size fool you. Every single day, more than 300 ships pass through this corridor. Giant oil tankers, massive container ships, cargo vessels carrying everything from smartphones and laptops to food, medicine, and cars. Nearly 1/3 of global maritime trade flows through this single passage. Around 1/4 of the world's traded oil travels through these waters. For countries like China, Japan, and South Korea, this route is a lifeline. Without it, the cost of transporting energy and goods would increase dramatically. Every hour this waterway remains open, the global economy keeps moving. But if it were ever blocked, the consequences would reach far beyond Southeast Asia. To understand why, we first need to see who depends on the Strait of Malacca the most. Imagine you're the leader of the world's second-largest economy. Your factories produce everything from smartphones to electric cars. Your economy depends on a constant flow of oil, natural gas, and raw materials. But there's one problem. Almost all of it must pass through a single narrow waterway. That is China's reality. Nearly 80% of China's imported oil travels through the Strait of Malacca. Every day, thousands of cargo ships carry the resources that keep Chinese factories running. If this route were blocked, even for a short time, the consequences could be devastating. Fuel shortages could spread across the country. Manufacturing would slow down. Exports would be delayed. The world's supply chains would feel the impact almost immediately. Chinese leaders know this weakness. In fact, former President Hu Jintao described it as the Malacca dilemma. It is one of China's greatest strategic concerns. That's why Beijing has spent billions of dollars building new ports, pipelines, railways, and alternative trade routes across Asia. The goal is simple: reduce its dependence on a single choke point. But despite all these efforts, the Strait of Malacca remains the fastest, cheapest, and most important gateway connecting Asia to the rest of the world. And that raises a dangerous question. What would happen if someone deliberately closed it? Now, imagine this. It's not a movie. It's not a simulation. One morning, the Strait of Malacca is suddenly closed. It could be a military conflict, a major accident, or even a terrorist attack. Within hours, hundreds of ships are trapped on both sides of the strait. Oil tankers can't move. Container ships can't deliver their cargo. Global shipping begins to slow down. The first impact is energy. Oil prices start climbing almost immediately as markets react to the uncertainty. Airlines face higher fuel costs. Shipping companies are forced to reroute their vessels thousands of miles around Indonesia. That journey adds days to every delivery. It also costs millions of dollars in extra fuel. Soon, those costs are passed on to businesses, then to supermarkets, and finally, to you. The phone in your pocket becomes more expensive. The food on your table costs more. Even everyday products like clothing, medicine, and electronics become harder to find. What began in one narrow waterway has now become a global economic crisis, and that's exactly why every major power is determined to keep the Strait of Malacca open. But who is actually protecting this vital passage?